Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Inquisition. I'm David. I'm a PR and marketing manager here at Neocore Games, and I'm here with two fine gentlemen. Victor,
hi,
our lead narrative designer, and Greg,
hey everyone,
our PR and marketing manager as well. So
it's good to be back today as well.
Oh yeah. We streamed yesterday as well, but yesterday there was no gameplay. But today there will be. We're gonna play the game a lot actually. I can't wait.
Right?
Yeah, in co-op. We're gonna play together, so you have to carry me because you do have a level 8 character and I only have like a level 3 because all the characters has been wiped. That's for sure. Please do let us know if there's something wrong with the picture or the sound because we are not able to check that just yet.
Yeah.
But it seems to be working here. Yeah. all I see is a little green thingy jumping, and that means that we should be all right. So but please let us know if everything works.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
Yep. So there are a couple of things that we wanted to talk to you about. First of all, as you may have noticed, our Steam page is online.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday night, we launched our Steam page. You cannot buy the game on Steam just yet, but you can add it to your wishlist if you haven't already bought it through Neocore Store. But you can put it on your wishlist, and I think it's not such a big secret anymore that because it is on the it is on the Steam page.
It's on the Steam page.
It was a secret until now. Now you just spoiled it.
Yeah, it's a shitty secret then. Yeah. But we are coming to Steam Early Access. We can't confirm a date. We can't confirm any details. But be sure to check back because
soon.
Yeah, let's say soon, and let's say it's gonna be worth it to check out what we have to show at Gamescom. You're coming to Gamescom, right?
Yes, I will be there. I will be there with these two fine gentlemen.
It's always great to be back at Gamescom, and this year as well.
Hail Hydra!
Yeah.
Hail Hydra!
Gamescom is like, well, for us it's like I don't know, one of those team building exercises.
Oh yeah, it's always a lot of fun. With Victor, we've been doing Gamescom together for 3 years now. 3 years in a row.
This will be the third.
This will be the third, yeah.
And the second for me.
And the second for you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to meet with the players as well.
Yeah, meet with the players, meet with the journalists. And one very important thing about Gamescom is that last year we were only in the business section. We were only contacting with the journalists, the members of the press. But this year we're gonna be in the public again, and you can see this beautiful thing here. Actually,
and
like lot bigger thing than that. In live at the Gamescom show floor, and I think it's booth. I don't know the booth number, but we're gonna be in full 8.1.
Yeah, 8.1.
8.1. So
full 8.
If you're gonna be at Gamescom, make sure to come over, give us a high five, try out the game. There's gonna be an exclusive build there.
Yeah.
And if you're a journalist or you have a media pass, then you can come catch up with us at the business section.
Totally.
Here, Victor presents our game to journalists, which is always a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate people bringing me, I don't know, beverages, alcoholic nature. So feel free to give us presents, anything you like.
No, we're gonna we'll have some goodies for some of the people at Gamescom.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh my god! We just finalized everything for all the little stuff that we're gonna be bringing out. Like we're gonna have T-shirts. We're gonna have a new design bags that you can carry everything. It's gonna look amazing.
That's huge information.
And actually, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell the guys, but we're gonna be bringing out a couple of these cups.
Yeah, man.
Which you can get with one of our founder packages. You're gonna break it.
Sure.
I'm sure you're gonna break it.
At the end of the stream, I'm gonna just.
Yep. And we're gonna be bringing out these. I'm not sure how well you can see this. These are Caligari coins. Credits. I'm so sorry, but these are coins, all right? So
these are coins.
These are coins, and it has Caligari on them. I'm not sure you can see them properly, but I do my best and look really stupid doing it. So I just stop doing it.
Can we drink from that cup? Have you ever tried
I haven't. I haven't.
I don't think you should.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think you should. I'm not sure what is it made
It's a
of,
skull.
but I'm pretty sure that it's not made of something that you
Yeah.
can, lick.
Yeah.
So it's purely
ruin
cosmetic.
it. Don't ruin it with soda or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just-
Please don't.
It's cosmetic.
Please, it looks way too good to be ruined by that.
Yeah.
Oh, already a question, and this question is pretty much for you. I can't read the name, but the question is.
Yep.
Wow.
Sorry.
I saw that.
Yeah, in Martyr, we're gonna find Easter eggs like in Van Helsing, or this game gonna be different in this?
Well, Van Helsing was very tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just for you to know that everything, story, character, everything, this guy is responsible. He wrote the whole game, so he knows pretty much everything.
Well,
Thank you. I mean, I played the game.
I can hope. So, Van Helsing was a very tongue-in-cheek game that played a lot with tropes and pop cultural icons and other very how could I say, very significant parts of video gaming and pop literature and so on. It also meant that it was much easier to play around with Easter eggs. On the other hand, 40k is a very, very grim, dark word, which means that if we started playing around with Easter eggs, that could create some tension between the darkness of that whole word and the tone of the game. So it's quite possible that there will be Easter eggs that refer to very famous 40k characters, or there will be some cameo appearances by certain well-known characters. I can't say now that it is going to happen or not, but it's a possibility. But those very funny Easter eggs that we had in Van Helsing are not likely to appear.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna have the rabbit, am I?
Sorry, no.
No funny Monty Python references.
Yeah. So I'm roaming one of the empty corridors of the Martyr, and there is no rabbit staring at me from the darkness. Nothing
I'm
like
afraid. I'm afraid it won't happen.
That. All right.
Although who knows? But
All right.
I will be very surprised.
One more question was about if you can upgrade your founder packages, and yes, we are working on it, and you will be able to upgrade your founder packages if you want to.
Yeah.
I guess Bone Hunters.
Victor?
Sorry. Yeah.
Van Helsing was good. Yeah, I can agree with that. Actually, during the Van Helsing, era of Neocore games, I was still a journalist. I haven't been working here, and I was reviewing Van Helsing, and I actually wrote some really, really, really nice stuff about you. But I didn't know you back then, so it was like, all right.
Well, thank you. Now I can tell you that, I pulled some strings.
Oh, you pulled some strings. All right.
I still have that article. Is Martyr Bone Hunters and other stuff which has every Inquisitor? At this point, no. No Bone Hunters.
All right.
Miss Rabbit and the Dark Knight.
I'm going to miss them too. It's a sad thing to see them go, but they belong to the Van Helsing
Pretty much.
universe.
Yeah. Should we talk about the patch?
Yeah, we should talk about the patch
so-
because as you may have noticed, we just released the Alpha 2.0 patch, which is a very important milestone in the development of Inquisitor Martyr. It has brought a lot of shitloads of new things, and it has addressed a lot of balance issues. There was a little optimization on the sides as well, and some new features that we're really, really proud of.
Yeah. For example, like the...
I'm sorry, but we have to start with my favorite.
Which is...
Which is obviously the loot screen.
Oh,
The new loot screen. I love the
right,
new loot
right,
screen.
right.
Have you seen it yet?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, totally. I
I
like
love
it.
it.
Too.
I love it. I actually do have I do have a video of it if you guys haven't seen it just yet.
Yeah,
It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, so
it looks
basically,
pretty
at the end
awesome.
of every mission, you're gonna see this, and with this loot screen, you can easily see what items you
What items did you get for your for your blood, basically? And this is not only a loot screen. You're gonna see all the materials that you've gotten. You're gonna see the rewards that you got, and there's a little summary of the mission info. How much time did it take you to finish the mission? How many enemies have you killed? And all the stuff that you might want to know.
And actually, these informations are pretty important because of like how many enemies you killed, stuff like that. It's gonna be pretty important for the game because of the redesigned skill tree, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You need to keep track on how many enemies you killed because we're gonna show them the skill tree in game.
Sure,
right?
we're gonna play the game in a couple of minutes, and you guys are gonna see the new skill tree among other things. So yeah.
Have you been working on a skill tree as well?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Well, there are some skills that I help to name, but nothing more technical than that.
Only the story, right?
The story and some naming things, because sometimes when it's about naming, then
Warhammer can be tricky, right?
Yeah, I'm sort of asked about details. So, but that's all I know. And as a player, I'm familiar with the skills.
Of course you are. Oh, you've got a Crusader or an Assassin?
I have both.
Yep, of course you have both. Who am I kidding? Yeah. I only have a Crusader right now. I don't know why.
Well, the patch is new, so it went live like 2 days ago. So
yeah, but still, I only had a Crusader. And the other new thing is that we established the basics of the tier system, which is also very important, or very important part. It's basically one of the it's only the basics just yet, but it still needs some balance. So as you might know, the Caligari sector is divided by subsectors, and every subsector represents a tier, and within every tier there are 10 or 20 power levels. But as you can see, this is an open world game. You can go wherever you want. You can go to a tier 2 or a tier 3 subsector. What we are not really afraid to show you that that you shouldn't go there on a lower level, because even though you can go there and you can try, and if you might get more XP out of it, but those creatures gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, man.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
There is one thing, story-wise, that might be important to know about subsectors, is that we have the Caligari sector, which is plagued by these warp surges, which are like...
It's just a fraction of a fraction, isn't it?
Yes. How did you know? And actually, that's your phrase. That's your phrase. Come join us at Gamescom, and you will hear this phrase a lot.
No, not this year. I promise, not this year. I'm not gonna use it.
Well, we can make a bet.
No,
every time you use the phrase, you are going to, I don't know, buy us drinks.
Okay, that would be a very shitty drinking game.
Well, let's see then.
We can try it. Okay.
So anyway, these warp surges are like, I don't know, like local tornadoes, storms that cut off systems and subsectors, which means that when you start out the game, you can only travel in one subsector. And as these warp surges dissipate or they grow again, you are going to be able to reach other parts of the Caligari sector. But by the time you get there, those subsectors systems have been cut off of the Imperium for a very long time. So when you get there, you might find very, very tight and difficult situations, which means that in game terms, it might be a tier 5, tier 6, I don't know, tier 2 system subsector and such. So yes, enter at your own peril.
Okay.
Obviously that we are making the very first ARPG in the Warhammer 40k universe, and Warhammer 40k has some very, very strict rules about how everything should work. And obviously you wrote a story in this universe. Did you keep in mind while writing the story how could that be implemented into an ARPG?
Well, yes, of course, those two processes went sideways. So we had we had a basic idea for the story, and designers had a basic idea for the game. And as we progressed in developing the game, well, I sort of modified those parts of the game that were, well, that could have been a bit more tricky to tell in an action RPG setting. So yes, there was some feedback.
I don't envy you, man. I really don't envy you because
Thank you.
as my understanding is, you didn't only had to write the story of the single player campaign. You had to write all those mini scenarios within the game, the investigations, the grand investigations, the seasons, and all that stuff.
I can't take all the credit for that. The thing is that
you should. They don't know. They don't know.
Okay, yes, I did everything. I did everything. Well, the thing is that we have a very, very great group of designers and writers, which means that, for example, investigations, which are random investigations in order to create a very diverse universe, which means that those stories are written a bit differently than the single player campaign, because those stories are basically taken from various story pools and put together to create unique but random investigations.
Right.
So that job was really nicely done by my esteemed colleagues, and the single player campaign is a more traditional storytelling in an action RPG.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that.
Well, and there was just one question which fits into
this question,
because there was a question about events like wars breaking out in certain parts. Yes, we are planning to do events because the Caligari sector is a place which is very much alive. So there will be events that you can participate in, and there will be certain local conflicts that have consequences on,
like global consequences, right?
Yes, global consequences
for every
on the
player,
game.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, we are planning to create, well, lots and lots of nodes for conflicts, because that's a 40k universe after all.
Cool. Somebody's asking, are we gonna get Hungarian language again? And yes, you will. You're gonna have Hungarian subtitles, no audio though, but you will have subtitles. That I'm sure of. What if let's get back to the patch?
Yeah. So yeah, there's still a lot of new features in this patch. It's quite a huge patch actually for July. Like a couple of smaller things or.
Let's get in them.
Yeah, man. Like for example, like covers were redesigned, so players now can cover up the nearby doors.
Awesome.
Also, there's a new item category. So.
Oh yeah. It came with the tier system.
Yeah. So.
It came with the tier system because every gear now has a power level restriction.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's one thing.
And that's awesome, and I also hate it. But in the same time, that was a well needed update.
Yeah, and I think purple items are no longer the strongest items in the game. There's an even higher category, which good luck finding it. It's in the game.
I haven't found any yet, but I haven't even finished
yet.
Yet.
We'll see if we can find any of those during our gameplay.
Never gonna happen.
No.
Never gonna happen, man. Never gonna happen. I mean, you at least have to finish tier 1 in order to find at the end of the tier some of the good ones.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take some while. It's gonna
so
take a while.
If you guys like grinding and if you guys like ARPGs with gearing up, this will be quite an adventure.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I'm a huge loot whore.
Yeah.
Really, I'm a huge loot whore. So if I know there's a weapon out there that's better than mine and I want it and it would work for my build, I need to get it.
Yeah.
And I grind until I can get it.
Yeah.
What do you say?
We can talk about the map changes too.
Yep.
Regarding the patch. So yeah, all the maps got some new little fancy updates. One of this is for the open areas. New weather effects.
Oh, the new weather effects. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, it gives a bit more depth to the game.
Well, a bit more variety to the gameplay. I mean,
yeah.
even now, every time you go to a map, it's random.
Yeah.
It is built up by random elements that gives you a nice variety of maps. But with the weather effect, it gets even better.
Yeah, and it's only one of the updates. The other one is it's an infested version of one of the indoor.
I think I do have a video about that as well. Yeah,
that's the. Yeah. So yeah, some of the areas can be infested. Looks cool, and of course more map types are coming in future patches. So
very soon actually. I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything stupid, but it might be the August update, isn't it, or the September one?
One of these two.
What?
Very, very diplomatic answer.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping us out.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Gamescom, here we come.
I can't confirm that just yet. I'm sorry.
Plot twist. Well,
M. Night Shyamalan plot twists.
The thing about that is that if there were one, if I told you now, then it wouldn't be a plot twist. Well, I can say
How true is that?
I would say that we are planning to tell a story about something that hasn't been really explored in the more mainstream Warhammer 40k literature, and we are hoping to how should I put it without spoiling anything? We would really love to insert an element into the story that has always been in the lore, but we put a small or not so small twist to it. So I don't know if it's a sixth sense type of twist. I suppose no. It would be really...
I see right through that one. So
but yeah, I'm that kind of reader writer who likes plot twists. So I really hope that we can surprise some people at least.
Yeah, you're gonna surprise us because he doesn't even show us the story. So
you can always ask.
We did ask. We did ask multiple times.
But that's how we are not spoiling either.
I'm not a spoiler dude.
I don't trust them. No,
I'm not a spoiler dude. There's one more important thing that is very important for me personally, because I'm using a pistol and a shield.
All right. Yeah.
Because now, as you might remember if you played the game, when we launched it, we had the mixed weapon sets in the game, but we didn't have the animation for them, so we had to take them out. But now, well, we made the animation and it's back in. So if you want to go with mixed weapon sets, you can do that now. And I mean, I'm very happy about it because I love that shield. I mean, I'm in love with that shield.
It's an extra build, for example.
Yeah,
right?
it's basically an extra build that you can do. We talked about the relic items, haven't we?
Sure, yeah. We're gonna show the skill system during gameplay.
Oh, and we haven't talked about the ancients.
All right.
Yeah, the ancients. There are hundreds of ancients got into the game that you can further customize your weapons with. It gives you a couple of different boosts. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. You can find them in the game. It drops quite regularly, I suppose.
That's right.
So you can try them out, and it's really worth it because those are not really well balanced yet, and some of them are insanely OP. There's one that goes resist all, and I'm not sure what it does, but it sounds pretty OP.
Those items will work.
I'd say about 330. It's a South Park reference. It's a South Park reference. I love it. What's the hardest part about cooking vegetables? Is it gonna be a joke?
Yeah.
No.
Oh
And that's
shit!
the joke.
Oh shit!
Please stand by. We are sending in
Oh
our agents.
shit! Oh my god!
Delete character.
Yeah, a
Sending email to Games Workshop.
yeah, a little piece of me just died. A little piece of me just died. Phil, what do you say if we start playing the game a little bit?
Sure. Let's play some co-op.
Yeah, let's play some co-op. We're gonna be right back.
Yeah, we just gonna mix.
Yep,
up.
needs to set up,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna
1 minute.
be right back.
Yeah, or something like that.
az irányítás. And we're back! I can see a lot of buzz about my pronunciation, and I don't like it.
Well, I can totally understand that, but now you are the Inquisitor, so...
I am the Inquisitor, and I shouldn't care about how people...
I feel a bit like a, I don't know, a sports commentator on an Inquisitorial purge. Nice
Actually,
move, nice move, Inquisitor. Nice move, go along.
That would be a great job, wouldn't it?
What a nice purge.
What a nice purge.
A very clever use of Imperial resources.
If you had to say one thing that you wish we would include in the game, but we can't, what would it be?
Oh boy. I'm going to send you the list I have. Well, I don't know. Well, of course, if I say that we've already implemented a lot of things, I wanted to see it would sound really, really, I don't know, PR style. But
go for it, man.
I don't know. And there will be a lot of things still, you know, being implemented. So I couldn't really.
Egy pillanatra hagyd abba. Gergő, stop for a second, please. Just a second. I'm sorry, the game didn't have sound. Now you're good.
Yep. And that was a very good way to, you know, for me just slither away from your question. It's a very, very tricky one. Well, of course we are doing the game about Inquisitors, which means that we should include everything we could, taken from various sources, novels, games. So I think that with a lot of things.
I really wish I could play the board game a little more, the tabletop version. But I thought, remember that two of the guys in the office actually put together a game for us with easier rule sets and you know, a little easy starter heavy, beginner friendly kind of version of it, and I really enjoyed it. I really.
And you played little story missions.
Yeah, we played story missions.
I mean that they were short skirmishes, and you played through a campaign on one of the planets. It was good.
It was pretty awesome. I lost. I did lose again and again and again. Come on!
I actually kind of would like you to keep the game down.
Yeah, good. Yep. How's it now? I hope this one's better. I put it down like a 30%, 30-40%.
Too much? Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. That's actually somewhere in the middle now. Let me know if that works for you guys. Okay, it's a trap. Let me out! Oh, and he just powers through. He just powers through, and I'm... Oh, okay. Beforehand, the heavy didn't have the shotgun, and so I fell in love with the shotgun. I don't even want to change it now.
The shotgun was new for me as well. Really
yeah,
nice
I haven't seen it before, and but it's weird for me to get that close.
Yeah. Although my favorite Crusader was the one with the thunder helmets.
Oh yeah.
I really like going really close and smash through them.
Oh shit, shit. I need you. Hang on!
What kind of Inquisitor
Yeah.
are you? Hang on.
Have you seen? I brought my friend. I brought my friend to play. Oh, that's really worth trying.
You
Now,
can put it.
eat one of that.
You can put it into your E4 later.
I really don't want to die in stream. I died enough before. Oh, there's one more thing that we did with this patch. We balanced the gameplay a little bit. If you played it before, when we launched the founding, you may have noticed that the game was insanely hard, and it's still pretty challenging, but it has become a little more beginner friendly, so to say.
But I must admit that, well, sometimes I fail gloriously, of course, but I do.
We all fail sometimes.
It's all about Inquisitors.
Oh yeah. Give it to me! Give me the loot!
What kind of
It's so
weapons? What kind of weapons do you use now? Shotgun and
I'm not even sure what did I bring now. What did I bring? It's blast rifle, I guess. I should have brought my other Inquisitor with the pistol and the shield.
Yep.
Oh?
Csak a rontott lesz.
Increase the cable size. I can actually talk about it just yet. The cable system is in now, and this is an experimental version of it. And as with everything in this game, we are relying heavily on your feedback. And that's what I forget to tell you when we started the stream, to thank you how much you helped us during the first couple of months of the founding, because based on your feedback, it has been a lot easier to develop this game, because you know, you're not just players, you in a way you are developers now, and you're helping us a lot. Oh, I know. I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. I love this. This is what sold me on the game in the first place. Destructible environment. It gives so much to the atmosphere it is.
That's true. That's one of my favorite features. And after, well, I've seen columns toppling down so many times, and still, every time, I can just enjoy it. Seeing the whole hole tumbling down looks gorgeous. And it's very 40k, so...
It's very 40k, it gives lots of atmosphere of the game itself. And now, my favorite part. From here.
Oh, we just got a really nice message. Thank you very much. I think I speak for a lot of people here, and I say thank you for being willing to develop the game you want to play. Oh, thank you very much. This means a lot. And
this means a lot, that's for sure.
We are trying to do our best.
And it's been purged. Yes.
I can't really imagine Inquisitors, you know, doing that after a mission. Sorry about my nitpicking, but...
If you were doing that all the time, so I've gotten used to it. And now for the loot screen. You can see my gameplay right now. You can see Gergő's. I like that you guys treating the IP with great respect. Thank you so much. We are doing our best to do that.
And we are fans.
Yeah.
Of the 40k universe show, so yeah, that's the least we can do.
That's the least we can do, and that was the idea from the very beginning. We wanted to make a game that we want to play as well, and we would be happy with. How about showing the skill tree for a while? Oh, you're showing the skill tree. All right, you're way ahead of me. Way ahead of me. So, yeah, you're running the Crusader as well. All right. You're doing very different things than what I do. You're going on single DPS, and so basically, we reworked the whole skill system, and it's still an experimental version of the final skill system. But we wanted to try out something that we think should work and complement the whole game itself. So, for example, if you wanna go with the single DPS, you first need to unlock it, and for that you need to complete this heroic deed to unlock Reaper. Kill 250 medium type enemies. So first you will need to grind a little bit before you actually unlock a skill tree within the big skill tree itself, the skill forest.
Skill forest.
I shouldn't.
Did you just say skill forest?
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have. I take it back. I take it back. I really do take it back.
And then suddenly, 2 days later, skill forest just pops up in the game, and I take credit.
So there's certain things that you do need to unlock before you can actually put points on various skill trees. So, for example, if you want to do executions, first you need to do the heroic deed, Relentless Slaughter, and that pretty much means kill 5,000 enemies with a melee skill.
40k.
40k.
Last scales.
40k. Oh, give me my shield and it's done. And we really want to try this out, and we really are looking forward to your feedback on this one.
Rename the tab skill forest. Thank you, David. Thank you. See what you did there? See?
I shouldn't be streaming. I told those guys I shouldn't be streaming, but they insisted.
Bring pistol shield, Inquisitor. Says someone.
So I really can't, because that's a level 19 Inquisitor, and I couldn't play together with Greg, who's only a level 8 loser. I mean, a level 8 friend of mine. Why not 40k? What's not 40k?
Yep.
That's as 40k as it gets.
That's our motto.
Will we be able to during a mission, or is it always restricted to the hub? It is restricted to the hub, so you won't be able to use the weapons that you picked up during a mission. This is by design.
Yep.
At least one of the skills is something that boosts speed, I think, for 1 hour. Oh, why not 40k? All right. Okay, I got it. I gotcha. Actually, that's
a good one.
That's a good one, but even 5,000 seems a little bit too much.
Well,
for me.
Wait until certain players will, top that in 2 days.
So, one thing about the skill tree that we wanted to mention is that, it might seem a little harsh on our side, but just think about it. It makes you think about your build beforehand, because if you know that you want to do executions, for example, then you won't be going with a blaster all the way through your missions. You will be using a shield and a chain spirit, for example, because you need those melee kills. So before you start playing, you need to plan your character. You need to plan the Inquisitor that you want to have. I think I'm sorry.
No. Yep. I just wanted to add that we really emphasize the fact that this is a tactical action RPG with the covers and the tactical approach, and this is one of the things.
Yeah, the tactical layer was very important. I'm so proud of the guys that they could implement a lot of things that makes the gameplay a little more tactical than an ARPG actually should be. So there's one thing like this is the cover system, obviously, that was in the very first design document that we made, and the other one is the AI of the opponents that we are still working on right now. Yeah, I should have broke my other Inquisitor, but then we wouldn't be able to play together. Try the other side, buddy. Eat that! I feel bad that the guys can't see how gloriously I'm purging it.
Well, for those who can't see that...
Oh, they can! They can. Alright, nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to say that maybe your deeds speak for themselves.
Oh man, I can't wait for Gamescom. We're gonna have some very, very, very exciting announcements during this Gamescom, and for most of them, you're gonna be very, very happy about. I'm sure about that one.
It's always intense. That's for sure. And this one is looking, well, it's shaping up to be a very intense Gamescom as well.
Which was your favorite Gamescom so far? The one with the announcements? The one with the first gameplay?
I think that the first Gamescom where we basically introduced the game to the larger public. That was the most exciting, but that was my very first Gamescom, so it is really, really something that I can't not factor in. So
oh yeah.
First Gamescom, very interesting Gamescom, very intense Gamescom, and well, it was a very enthusiastic feeling to introduce the game, to talk about Martyr the very first time.
I accidentally closed the game.
And you left Gergu alone.
Yeah, Gergu, we left you alone, so have fun, I guess.
You know, this is the Inquisition. Sometimes Inquisitors, well, they can backstab each other. They would never admit that.
Yeah, I didn't backstab him. I just got bored and I left.
We just made a tactical retreat to deal with matters more pressing at the moment.
Goodbye, Peggy. Thanks for joining us today. Actually, I'm really excited about the public booth in Gamescom because last year we didn't have it. We only had a booth in the business section because we didn't have a new builds to show the public. So we thought like, yeah, we don't need that. But this year we're gonna bring out a new, very exclusive build to Gamescom, and if you guys are there, you can try it out, you can play the game, and also you can meet some of the guys that you've talked to before, like Megapool or Valkyr, and who else is coming? Two gorgeous cosplayer girls that we've been working together for years, and they are amazingly nice.
Yeah, those people who visited us first Gamescom.
Oh yeah.
They might remember them. So we have the two. Well, can I spoil what kind of cosplay they are doing?
You can.
So they are going to be the assassins. So if you are wondering how the Assassin Inquisitor would look like in real life, then that will be your chance.
Somebody thinks that we're gonna reveal the Psyker at Gamescom.
And this is the cryptic silence.
And this is the cryptic silence. This is when my PR side has to kick in and tell you that maybe yes, maybe no, mostly no. Greg, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Please don't die. Or die. Whatever. I love that I can reconnect the game. I do that a lot of times. Okay, he died. You're gonna die, don't you? Of course he did. Oh, I'm going the wrong way? Am I? Okay, let's wait for together. Let's wait for each other. I'm waiting, buddy. Okay, which one would you like to take out first? Activate all the shrines. There are bonus missions here. That you can do for extra loot. Go for it, buddy. Eat that. Eat that, Jerry. I'm not doing very well, to be fairly honest. Shit, shit, shit.
Are you playing regularly in co-op together? Just asking.
Yeah, we actually do. We usually play together.
Anything. Not implying anything.
I know you are. I know you are, and I don't appreciate it.
It's just the way.
There's my shield. There's my shield. Okay, we need to finish this mission because I want to equip that shield. I know that you wouldn't tell me about it, but you might want to tell our viewers a few details about the story, maybe just the arc of it, maybe.
Well, it's entirely possible. The problem with that is usually I don't really know how much detail I should go into, and it has two hazards. First, I spend the next 60 minutes talking about the story instead of letting people play it later.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stop you as soon as you get boring or give away too many stuff.
Well, and now I just saw you stopping me in like 60 seconds into my monologue. Yeah, the story is something that we've already covered a couple of times, always in vague details. The title of the game, Martyr, is strongly connected to the story itself because the story campaign that is a single-player campaign, which is an inquisitorial investigation tied to your character.
So it's tied to my character. So it's a personal story.
It's a personal story, and it takes place on a gigantic and lost fortress monastery called Martyr.
Right.
So this is where we start the game. So, well, it's really difficult to describe a story without
spoiling anything about it. Yeah.
The story itself is part of the sandbox. The fortress monastery Martyr, is floating in one of the abandoned star systems in the Caligari sector, and we start the game with you, the Inquisitor, trying to hunt down a other Inquisitor of one of the orders, and this is the lead that will take you to the Fortress Monastery. And in the vein of most Gothic novels and haunted house and haunted ship scenarios, the moment you set foot on the decks, terrible things are going to happen, And as you realize, terrible things have been happening to other people who have already landed on this fortress monastery. This Inquisitor you are trying to find among others. So this is the scenario. This is the scenario where we start the game, and this investigation is going to take you through various parts of the market, and you, by trying to uncover a mystery that is tied to the Fortress Monastery and to the Inquisition, you are going to travel through various star systems in the Caligari sector. And meanwhile, this is just the single-player campaign. You can also do other inquisitorial investigations in this sandbox world.
Will the whole the whole campaign set on the deck of Martyr?
Most of it, yes.
Most of it, but you
there will be some stories which have connection to the Martyr.
All right.
But they are not on the Martyr. But the basic story is focusing on the Martyr itself and on the expedition that went to the Martyr, and well, to that person who set out on the deck of the Martyr a very long time ago.
Somebody's just asking, please say the the Exterminators is involved at some point. And believe it or not, that's pretty much the question that we get the most.
Well, I can really see why. So
yeah,
it's the most iconic, order that an Inquisitor can participate in. So yes, we are really planning to involve Exterminators at some point.
At some point? What does that mean?
It means that I can't tell you when.
I know you can't tell me.
And as we've already mentioned the events. Events are basically milestones in the huge plot unfolding in the Caligari sector. And when you reach these milestones, you might have opportunities to make decisions that have a huge impact on the sector. We said that what could have a bigger impact than on a planet, for example, than an Exterminators. So, yep, that's in the books.
I got dropped sword, and it's only available from the level 9.
Sad.
So I'm going with a last pistol and a suppression shield, just to be sure, because it has shield bash and it looks awesome. And so I might need to start with my defensive skills.
Is there any chance to meet a commissar or a space marine in the story? Yes. Yes, there is a chance. A huge chance.
I do need my area effect skills.
Are there any plans for acquirable missions being found from killing enemies, such as finishing a boss and finding a Carta Extremis that tells you to kill a large heretic of some sort? Basically, this is how the investigations work in the game. Investigations are chains of missions. When you finish a mission, you uncover a clue, and that clue will lead you to another mission. So, yes, something like that. Will those events also affect other players? Events affect the Caligari sector. So, in a certain sense, yes, they will affect other players, but you are always playing on your own, apart from those missions where you can invite your friends and play a co-op. But you are always the Inquisition agent, Inquisitorial agent, who is the focus of your story. But we are considering each individual decision, and we are changing the plot of the Caligari sector according to the majority of the decisions. So in a way you have a chance to affect the plot, but it will take others as well to reach that point when that effect is visible.
Oh, in the meantime, Greg actually got to power level 2, which is something I hate him for. You want to do another mission? Maybe a turret mission?
Are you playing an Inquisitor, agent? Well, you are playing an Inquisitor. Agent of the Inquisition. We refer to Inquisitors as agents of the Inquisition a couple of times, just to avoid saying Inquisitor all over again.
I'm so sorry. What do you need? Because with the turret cards, you can basically see what or when you do a turret, which turret card has the highest chance to drop, for example, ranged weapons or anything like that. So if you need ranged weapons, then you do the turret that has higher chance to drop ranged weapons. So that's pretty much it. But I'm actually not sure how the turret system ties into the lore itself. Do you know?
Of course I do.
I mean,
what a question!
Okay, let me rephrase the question. Could you tell us a little bit about how the turret system inside the game ties into the lore, please? Yes. Pretty, please.
First of all,
pretty, please.
I've already started explaining it.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead, do it.
But I really like your very polite tone towards me. So this is first of all, it's very, very important that this is not the Emperor's Tarot that you might be familiar from various lore sources. This is something we call Uther's Tarot. Uther Tiberius is somebody in the Caligari sector, used to be somebody in the Caligari sector, and he is a very, very significant character in the whole story. Uther's Tarot has a very important impact on the storyline, and Uther's Tarot is a very specific psychic deck that a former Inquisitor had built. When you find Uther's Tarot and you start unfolding cards, Uther's Tarot, they symbolize your connection to that psychic deck. It means that you can influence the outcome of events to a certain extent, or you can make divinations that will tell you what is going to happen in the Caligari sector. And in the story campaign, the Uther's Tarot deck will be your guiding light to the story, and it will have other important story elements tied to it. Gameplay wise, it means that you can craft missions with the Uther's Tarot. You can set the difficulty, you can set the monster setup, you can set all sorts of things with putting down tarot cards. This is, in a nutshell, the tarot system. It is the Uther's Tarot, not the Emperor's Tarot, but it's a bit similar.
Well, thank you. I didn't know half of that, actually.
I'm glad to be of help.
In the meantime, Greg, where the hell are you?
Will the hub always be a separate instance for each player? Yes, this is, well, the hub you see is your own ship. As I said, each Inquisitor is the hero of his or her own story, so this is why you have your own ship.
Did you just actually throw a frag grenade at me? Why? I thought we were friends. Obviously, I was wrong. Well, this is not an MMORPG. We wanna encourage players to play together, and we want this the Category sector to feel like a living, breathing world with an ever-changing story that you can influence. But it's still never gonna be an MMORPG.
Another class concept device from the Dark Heresy mostly. Well, we read the Dark Heresy books. We think these books are great resources on the topic of Inquisition. We didn't devise the classes based on the Dark Heresy rulebook, but it was one of the sources we used while creating the classes.
I love that we chose Inquisitors. When I joined Neocore, they haven't actually announced Inquisitor just yet. And on the first time I came in and I had a talk with the management, they actually pitched me the idea of Inquisitors, and I didn't know much about the Warhammer 40k universe back then, but I learned very quickly that this is a universe that it's very easy to fall in love with. It's insanely gory, so over the top that it's crazy. I really fell in love with it, and especially thanks to Victor, because Victor told me a lot about the lore and why this or that is important, and he told me little stories about each of the characters, and he made me understand why this game is gonna be so awesome.
I'm so happy
as a
about
Warhammer 40k game, because I knew that Neocore can do awesome ARPGs, because I myself of course played the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing trilogy and even Death Threat, but I wasn't sure how it's gonna work out, and you know, balancing the rules of the 40k universe and the expectations of an ARPG player, well, that's a challenge.
And unfortunately, very expensive universe. Someone just added that.
Oh yeah, very expensive universe, but most of the things that are amazing are very expensive. I mean, I just bought a Star Wars Lego, guys, so I know what expensive means.
There was a question about the Ordos. Ordos are something that we are definitely going to put into the game, but I can't really tell just yet how. But as all great masterminds, we have our plan. So yeah, Ordos are going to be very important at some point.
Actually, not even that far away, to be honest. But it's gonna have gameplay significance as well.
Yep.
So, stay tuned, guys. Shit. I really don't want to die.
Did you say shit?
I can say shit, dude. I just said shit. Oh, you mean on stream? Well, I really shouldn't, though.
You see a lot of minions of Nurgle. Here they are the representatives of other chaos gods. Yes. We've mentioned this already a couple of times. It's worth repeating because it's a very important
Nice
decision.
job, Greg.
Every chaos god will make an entrance to the category sector at some point. This is why we are going to have seasons later, which will be content patches tied to a story every time that will tell you how new enemies appear in the category sector. As we usually say, if it is in the 40k universe, you will have your chance to see it and, well, being an Inquisitor, fight it.
The only thing I didn't get is my ranged weapon. Was it a ranged weapon, Tarek? I do kind of hate you, Greg. Hidden lottery. Never mind. Never mind, buddy. Never mind, buddy. Thank you so much. Damage against medium, damage against normal. I need to reach level 9 so I can use my sword. Because I need to... Can I buy a sword? I do want to buy one. Please, sell me. There. Oh, that's a great sword. That's two-handed. Oh, new armor. Don't mind if I do. Yep. Well, guys, if you do have any questions about the game, about the company, about Victory's personal life, then please feel free to shoot now, because now we're gonna do a little Q&A, and so after, not that the whole thing wasn't a Q&A in general. So, if you have any questions, shoot. We are here to answer. I just need to... Yeah. Yep. We're back. Release date. Wow, that's a very interesting question.
That's in your ballpark. So.
Yeah, that's my ballpark. All I can tell you is that you should read a lot of articles during Gamescom, because we're gonna be announcing a lot of things during Gamescom, and we might be announcing for the release date as well. Will there be trading? That's an interesting question. We are experimenting with a method of implementing trading, and not just between players. But as you might know, in the 40k lore, trading is not... it doesn't work the way it works. It would work in an ARPG. So we're experimenting with a couple of ideas that we will implement and we will test out. And I think one of them is already in our internal build. So so it might go online very soon, and you can try out yourself. Enemy AI done. Are you going to tweak it more? Obviously. Gameplay wise, we are still balancing. We are still trying to find the perfect balance, even between the weapons, between the enemies, and so we are still working on AI as well. You know, there are new props are implemented all the time, and we are still working on how the AI should use the cover system. And right now, the AI pretty much works the way as a troop would. They have leaders, they have flankers, they have snipers, and so they are basically doing very different stuff. And so we want them to adapt to every situation, to make you feel like you're participating in a real war. And this is our long-term plan. And the AI that you see in the game right now, it is far from final. Character visual customization. Yes, you will be able to customize your character. You can sit in, Greg, if you want to. We're just gonna swoop over, put this out of Victor's face.
Thank you.
You're back. We know it will be in depth, but we don't know what extent we can customize. All right. You want to take that?
The morality system?
Oh, not the off. Okay, you get a moral system, yep. And I get a customization. Yep. There won't be any Hello Kitty stickers on your Inquisitor, but we will give you as much freedom as the lore and as the 40k universe provides us with. That's what I can promise you. It's gonna be an in-depth system, that's for sure. You're gonna have a lot of variations that you can play around with. But then again, you won't be able to do. You won't be able to do what I know you want to do. You can't do that. No, that's a bad Inquisitor. But you're gonna have a lot of freedom, but not more than what the lore provides us with.
Yeah.
Changing faces. But I think we can answer that.
You can answer that. Can I change my face? You can answer that, yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
Yeah. So it's a question. So there was a question about the morality system. The morality system is so the question was that will the morality system that is planned affect the kind of items that are available to us? Yes. At the moment, what we can tell you is that we are going to have the radical and Puritan pathed, or English, so difficult. So in the game, and it means that radical and Puritan Inquisitors are going to use different kind of weaponry after a while. It could be, and I'm just throwing out examples right now, so nothing really concrete at the moment, but just imagine that one Inquisitor can use a Demon Forge weapon, another one can use blessed holy weaponry, and
yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
I think they are going to be these weapons will be very different,
yeah,
and which will make these radicals and Puritans fight very differently. Right. And there's another one. What kind of enemies will we meet in the game? Orcs, demons, Max. Oh, Max.
So that's a note to making my character Impressive. Look like an unpainted model. Well, it might be between the possibilities actually, because that's a weird kind of gray. I mean,
shouldn't be a difficult thing to
about the enemy types that you will meet within the game.
As we said,
as we said, this is an ever expanding universe. So we do have a priority list in which we want to put in the new enemy types. But in the long run, we want to develop this game, we want to expand this game for a very long time. So in the long run, you will meet pretty much every enemy type that is in the Warhammer 40k universe that we want to play around with. It's a lot, actually. Yeah, we do have plans for the first 3 or 4 that we're going to release.
I think so.
Yeah, enemy types. I shouldn't talk about it. That's why you're looking at me like
no, that? I'm doing the math in my head.
All right.
Yeah, but also like the next content patch will have new enemies, new enemy types, right? Which is also in the roadmap.
We are.
I think the roadmap has some info on the upcoming enemy types.
This is why we said that with each content patch we are going to include new enemy types. Reply Inquisitor looking like Miley Cyrus. Then yes, this is why we have restrictions in the game.
This is exactly why we need them.
Thank
because
you for
of
the
you,
presentation.
Bad boys, girls. And it's Ersekid, of course.
There's a question about both genders for all classes. No, the assassin will be a female character. The Crusader will be a male character all the time. So
yeah, it's.
What about the Psyker? No, I shouldn't ask that. I'm trying to stare you down. Yeah. Scratch that. Okay, I'm just really excited about the Psyker because that's gonna be my favorite class. I know I shouldn't say mage-like because that's.
Well, you can say anything you like.
It's heresy, and I'm gonna get fired. But so did you check the next update?
Yeah, the rebels will be
implemented. Cool. And as you might see, the contents update for September is gonna be a biggie.
And that's not the last content update, of course.
Yeah.
We're gonna announce the other ones soon.
What about the Psyker? Well, the Psyker will be totally different from the other 2 classes.
It's gonna have its very own gameplay mechanics, and very exciting one of those.
Yeah.
I really hope we can make that work.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
It's really exciting.
More info on that, I guess, later.
Yeah. So not a lot later, but
later.
we're still not ready to talk to you about that one because even though we want to promise you everything in the world because we have an ideal game in our heads and we want to create that game, and I think we're doing pretty good. We actually keep track of we go side by side with the development plan, and that's unheard of actually. So we have an ideal version of the game in our heads, and so there's some of the things that we haven't talked to you about, and there's a reason for it. And the reason is that we don't want to get your hopes up, because even though we know how, for example, the Psyker should look like, we know how the customization system we want to work like, but we don't want to promise you that, we don't want to let you down, we want to experiment with it, and we're gonna announce it as soon as we know that we will definitely be able to do it the way we want to. And so far that's what we did. We released an idea, for example with the PvP, we released it, and you guys played it, you guys gave us feedback, and we tweaked it, and we're gonna tweak it even more, because obviously it needs a lot of work to to give you the experience that we want it to give you. Let's see, you're not promising the moon and the stars. I can't do that actually.
Actually, we are promising a lot of moons, a lot of stars. The Caligari sector is huge. So
that was a nice one.
Yeah,
thank you.
The very first. So
this is why you just can't have nice things.
Not as good as the skill forest, but it's still it's still alright, I guess.
Skill forest. Finally, I managed to forget that.
And
then you have to bring it up again.
You know, I'm not gonna let you forget that for a very long time. Well, guys, I think that was pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope we could answer most of your questions. And I really like to thank you guys for coming, because it's always nice to be in the presence of geniuses.
Oh no, please don't. And yes, we are aware that what promising moons and stars means. It means that I made a really bad joke.
Yeah, that was a bad joke.
So, see, you were right. Skill Forest was much better than my joke, because my joke didn't feel like a joke, only for me. So sorry about it.
It felt like a joke. I was actually laughing, and it wasn't just like,
the fake laugh.
Breathing out.
Yeah, but anyways, the game page is now on Steam. You can wishlist the game, put it on your wishlist. There's no release date yet, of course.
But you can put it on your wishlist, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. If you want to join us in the founding, you can find a game on our store, the Neocore store, you can join the founding right now and start playing as soon as it downloads.
Yeah, so, and if you guys have any other questions later, you can find us on our Discord channel.
Oh yeah.
There's always someone up, and we are always answering all the questions.
Not all the questions. He's lying. No, we're not answering all the questions, because there are some questions that make me very uncomfortable, and I'm not answering those.
And nope. There was something about my personal life, so we are not answering those.
That doesn't make me uncomfortable whatsoever. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and actually see you next week.
See you next week. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.